What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Puddle Cruiser. So I got the DVD right here, just picked this up on eBay, and as you can see, it's from the comedy group Broken Lizard. It says right there, from the guys who brought you Super Troopers. There's the back. There you go. So yeah, basically the reason I decided to check this movie out is because I'm a big fan of Broken Lizard. Of course, Super Troopers is like a fantastic comedy. I've seen that movie countless times, and Beer Fest is really good too. I absolutely love that movie, so I'm a big fan of them. And recently, I just finished the show Tacoma FD. I was just browsing Netflix one day, looking for a new show to watch, and then boom, Tacoma FD popped up. And it's not all the guys from Broken Lizard, but you got Steve Lemmy is in it. He plays this character called Eddie Panizzi, and he's like this kind of like suave dude. He's the captain, and then you got Kevin Heffernan. He's the chief, and then Paul Soder. He's like sometimes on the show. He plays this guy Wolf, who's this like firefighter that they don't like. But yeah, basically it's this like Tacoma FD is this comedy about firefighters, and I just finished that show, and uh, it was absolutely fantastic. It was such a great comedy. If you all have Netflix, I would definitely recommend check out Tacoma FD. Super funny show, definitely worth the watch. It's only like 4 seasons, so it's not that big of a time commitment. But yeah, I just finished watching Tacoma FD, so I was like, man, let me, I was in the mood to watch some more Broken Lizard stuff, like go back and watch some of the other stuff, and then I realized, there's like quite a few movies that they did that I haven't seen, because the only ones I've seen are, of course, Super Troopers, Beer Fest, Super Troopers 2, and then they did this one called Slam and Salmon, which I've seen. But other than that, I haven't seen their other movies. So I picked up Puddle Cruiser, and then I picked up Club Dread, which I will review eventually. So yeah, Puddle Cruiser was their first movie ever. It came out in 1996. They were young when they made this. They were like in their late 20s. So yeah, this is their first movie. It's like super low budget, independent. I believe the budget was like 160,000. That's what Wikipedia says. Wikipedia is not always accurate with the budgets, but yeah, this was like their first ever feature film. And yeah, basically I watched the behind the scenes documentary on the DVD. There's like a 17-minute behind the scenes featurette, and yeah, like this movie, like it won like a few awards at film festivals, but it never got like picked up for distribution. So all the Broken Lizard guys, they just went on this like tour. They like toured to all these college campuses, and they like showed the movie at college campuses to promote it, which I thought was pretty darn cool, and that's like a pretty darn unique marketing strategy. And it's kind of cool the fact that they didn't just give up. They're like, they could have just been like, well, we didn't get distribution, what are we gonna do? Like, no one's gonna see our movie. They're like, let's take it to the streets, take it to these college campuses, and promote the heck out of it. So that was really cool, and it was cool because they did, like, in addition to the just showing the movie, they would do like a whole comedy show before the movie. So that would have been pretty darn cool to be in college at that time, and get this little like comedy show and then get to watch this movie. I think a lot of the times they showed it for free or like $1, but that I thought that was like a really smart way to promote it. And it was funny, like in the documentary they were like just passing out flyers, just like on the streets passing out flyers. So that's like a really, I don't know, just like simple approach to like um, you know to promote a film, you know? I almost like lost my train of thought, like what the heck, I can't think. But yeah, I thought that was like really simple. It's like they're just on the corner passing out flyers, so that was cool. And then in the documentary it showed that they did that for Super Troopers as well, which, I mean, that got that got big like studio distribution. It was like distributed by Fox, but they're still like, you know what, let's take it to the streets, let's like actually interact with people and promote our movie. So yeah, that was really cool. And if any of you do get this DVD, I would say, you know, definitely check out the little featurette. It's only 17 minutes. Or maybe you can find it on YouTube. If you can find it on YouTube, what is it called? It's called Rodeo Clowns. So yeah, check it out. Very interesting. But anyways, let me get into my overall like thoughts of the movie. So I thought it was decent. I had a good time with it. I didn't like it as much as I like Super Troopers and Beer Fest. You know, those are straight up classics. Those are laugh out loud funny, absolutely hilarious. I thought this was good. It had a decent story. You know, there were some funny moments, but it was their first movie. It wasn't as good as some of their later movies, but you know, still a good time. I'm gonna get into the plot summary now. So, okay, the movie starts out and you got these three guys, and they're like sneaking in the cafeteria, their college cafeteria, to they're all like college kids. It's set on a college campus, so you got these three college kids. They're sneaking into the cafeteria to steal food, and two of them get caught. The one who does not get caught is his name's Felix, and he's the main character. He's played by Steve Lemmy, and basically the gentleman who doesn't get caught, Felix, he's like starting to talk to this girl who's representing his other two buddies who did get caught, because they have to go to, there's like this whole trial. It's not like an actual legal trial, but they have to go to like court at their college, and they're represented by like a pre-law student. And the pre-law student that's representing them starts talking with Felix, and there's this whole situation where, like, you know, they get together and they're talking. They're not really dating, but she has a boyfriend, and but they're not like, her and her boyfriend aren't exclusive. They have like an open relationship, but there's this whole drama between Felix and this girl and her boyfriend. And then later on in the movie, you know, she finds out that Felix was involved in the you know, like in the cafeteria incident, stealing the food. So she gets like all conflicted about that, and she's all conflicted with her boyfriend, and she's like, you know, which boyfriend do I pick? And Felix wants to impress her, so he joins the rugby team because her boyfriend is on a rugby team at another school, and he's this big like macho tough guy. So Felix wants to like impress her, so he joins this rugby team. And later on in the movie, like in the third act, he has to go up against her other boyfriend's team, and everyone is like, you know what, he's gonna absolutely kill you. He's, you know, because he's like mad at him, he's like jealous or whatever. So yeah, they have this like final showdown where they have to like play each other in rugby, and Felix might get effed up. So that is that's the basic plot summary. I hope I did it justice. But yeah, now I'm moving on. I wanted to talk about the behind the scenes, but I already talked about that. So now I'm gonna get into some funny moments, and yeah, because I wanted to talk about Tacoma FD. I wanted to talk about Super Troopers. I wanted to talk about behind the scenes. I already knocked that out. So yeah, some standout funny moments that I really liked. So one of the characters, Zach, he's played by Jay Chandrasekhar, who he's in all the other Broken Lizard movies. He actually directed this. But anyways, his character Zach, he gets this phone number from this girl. He's like trying to talk to this one girl, and he gets her number, but it's only 6 digits, and he's like, what could this mean? Like, what the heck? Like, why would she give me 6 digits? And basically, there's this whole like running joke where he's like calling up every number combination with that like last remaining digit, and he's just like on the phone calling people, okay, sorry, wrong number, sorry, wrong number. And there's like a couple instances where he'll call someone and get them on the line, and they'll have like the same name. And well, it was actually one instance, but like there's this one woman, and she had the same name, and they're like Zach and all his buddies are in the background like swearing, and she's just like shocked, and then it like cuts to her just like standing there like, what the heck, like this random person's calling me and swearing. That was like really funny. All the stuff involving him and his love interest was really funny. Kevin Heffernan and Paul Soder's characters, those are the two characters who got caught for stealing the food in the cafeteria. There's this running joke with them where they cock block each other, and like they'll just say like nasty stuff. Like I forgot exactly what they would say, but they would say like, oh yeah, you don't know like what they call him. They call him like Dirty Dan or whatever. He's got like a bunch of STDs. He's nasty. Like you don't know about him. Super nice guy though, you know. And then like later on, it's like the same deal, and you know, one of the guys is saying like the other's like a pedophile. Like whenever one of these guys has a girl that's interested in them, and the girl like asks their buddy like, oh, what do you think about this guy? Is he cool? Is he available? Is he single? Like I'm trying to get with him. He's kind of cool. They just totally cock block the other guy, and they just make up these like insane stories. So I thought that was a fun little running joke. And then another, this is like the last standout funny moment that I have. There was other funny moments, but you know, I'm not gonna get to everything. I don't want this upload to take 3 hours. So the last standout funny moment was basically, once again, Kevin Heffernan's character and Paul Soder's character. They're in court, and you know, Felix's girlfriend is gonna represent them, but she's all conflicted because she finds out that Felix was involved in the little cafeteria situation. So she like dips out, and they have to represent themselves in court. And that whole sequence where they're representing themselves is absolutely hilarious. They're just like so out of line. They're so unprofessional. But they're like extremely confident, and it's hilarious. And they're just like referencing movies. Like they reference A Few Good Men, and they're like, "You can't handle the truth," and they're just like yelling at the judge, and they're just like, they're so out of line, and it's absolutely hilarious. And they lose the trial, and basically they have to do like community service for the rest of the movie. So that's like a pretty funny running joke as well. Like they don't even really do the community service. They'll just be in like orange jumpsuits, like they're, you know, in jail or something, and they'll just like, they'll do community service for 5 minutes, and then they'll just like start like shooting water balloons at people. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, that's all I have for funny moments. So that was actually the last thing that I had in my notes. But yeah, so I guess I'm gonna have to freestyle the rest of the video. But you know, I liked all of the comedy in this, but like I said, I thought this movie was decent, but and it, you know, it was enjoyable. It wasn't boring. It was entertaining. There were some fun and funny moments, but like I said, it wasn't on par with Beer Fest and Super Troopers, which of course is not going to be. This is a lower budget endeavor. They were younger. This is their first feature film. So, you know, I think this is like, for an independent $160,000 movie, they did a fantastic job. Like, you know, they wrote everything, they produced, like they did everything. I think they did a good job, but just speaking from enjoyment, I don't enjoy this as much as their other stuff. But it's not a bad watch at all. It's a fun watch, funny. Um, I just thought it wasn't as funny as, you know, their other movies that I've seen so many times and that I'm, you know, a huge fan of. And then also like all the stuff with the romance, I feel like, you know, I wasn't expecting this to be as much of a romantic movie as it was. I like quite a few romantic movies, but I thought this was gonna be like more of a fun like college party movie, and I feel like the whole romance between Felix and his girlfriend, it was like at like the forefront of the movie. Like this, I feel like this movie was like more centered on the romance than the comedy. Like it was more about like the drama and the romance, and then there would be like little comedic gags here and there. So, you know, some of the reason why I didn't absolutely love this movie could be because I just had different expectations going in. I thought it was going to be something else than it was. I thought it was going to be more of just a straight comedy, but there was a lot of romance, which, like I said, is not a bad thing. But I wasn't expecting it, and yeah, I feel like they kind of the comedy in this was fantastic, but I think they clearly like developed in their like films that like in their later films they definitely developed, and I think Super Troopers and Beer Fest are a lot funnier. But in terms of a recommendation, I would still recommend this. It's by no means a bad watch. It's, you know, it's not boring. Very entertaining movie. I think, you know, the story is serviceable. They're like the all the characters are fun. The setting is great. The comedy is on point. There's quite a few standout funny moments that I mentioned, and there's like many others. So I think if you're a fan of, you know, the other Broken Lizard movies, or if you're a fan of Tacoma FD, I would say Puddle Cruiser is worth watching. But I don't think it's on par with some of their later movies, and even like Tacoma FD I think is funnier than this. I think they've kind of like honed their craft over the years. So, you know, this is kind of like their, you know, it's their first effort, so I think they're still kind of, you know, figuring stuff out. But yeah, definitely would still recommend it. Definitely worth the watch. Fun time. So yeah, check it out. But anyways, I've said everything I want to say about Puddle Cruiser, so I'm gonna head out here. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.